Good morning students, welcome back to information technology. Today's lectures you are going to learn the second lesson, that is introduction to DBMS. Lecture 1. Let us learn in this lesson concept of database, introduction to DBMS and RDBMS, database management system and relational database management system, advantage of using database management system. Introductions. In our day-to-day life, every person uses database in various ways. Like people use phone diary or phone book which contain names, address, email ID, phone number, etc. Doctor maintains medical history of patient. Librarians maintains record of their book details, issue date, return date, etc. And teacher keeps record of those students like name, roll number, mark, etc. In this example, everyone maintains records in a systematic manner. In a computer systems, we always maintain our record. At this point, a database is very useful. Now let's see what is the definitions of database. Definitions of database is a collections of interrelated data which help in efficient retrieving, inserting and deleting of data. Now what is data? In exam, marks obtained by the student in subject is data before it is entered in the report card. For example, data is raw fact or raw material. Before processing it is called data. For example, 1 plus 2. So 1 plus 2 is the data, but after processing 1 plus 2 you will get a result 3. So 3 is the information. It means data is raw fact or raw material. Then what is information? So informations in a report card, the combined marks data of all subjects speaks about student performance, and thus when data is maintained in an organized manner and it become a meaningful or organized informations. As I told you that when you collect the number 1 and 2 it become a data, and when you start processing of that additions 1 plus 2 you get the result 3, and 3 is the meaningful informations. So after processing data you get the informations. In here also an example is given. In report card, the combined marks means data of all the subject and it speaks about student performance, and thus when data is maintained in an organized manner it become a meaningful or organized information. Now let's see the difference between data and information. So data versus information. Now see here, in data is raw fact and information is processed data. Means once you collect the data and you process it and you get a result or the output, that become a information. That's why it is called the information is processed data. Now in your school, suppose you are going to collect the information regarding your school, means how many classes are there in the school. So the classes number you have collected, that become a data, but finally you want classes, means total classes how many are there in the school. So that total you made, that become a information, that is a meaningful. Okay, next, data does not help in decision making. Data never help you in decision making, but information help in decision making. Through the information you can take a decision. Data could be relevant or irrelevant. Without data, information cannot be processed. So you want information, then require data, and without data you will not get any information. So each student exam score is one piece of data. Each student's exam score is one piece of data, but the average score of the student or the class of the entire school is information that can be derived from the given data. So that is the difference between data and information. Let's see introductions to database management system. Now what is DBMS? Now here actually it start database management systems. A database, often abbreviations as DB, means database, is a collections of information organized in such a way that a computer program can quickly select desired piece of data. Now let's see, the database management system is software for creating and managing database. The DBMS provides user and programmers with a systematic way to create, retrieve, update and manage data. It stores data in such a way that it becomes easier to retrieve, manipulate and update informations. My dear students, the software we use to create a database, to retrieve the data or the information, to update and manage the data, so that software called as the database management system software. Here many softwares are there. Some example of popular DBMS softwares I am going to give you, that are MySQL, PostgreSQL, Access, Oracle, SQL Server, IBM, DB2 and Sybase. So these are the example of popular database management system software. While learning these database management systems, you are going to learn one of the software is MS Access or MySQL, that is PostgreSQL. So like these three database softwares are there that you are going to learn. Now introduction to database management systems, and in that example just now I showed you is MySQL, PostgreSQL, Access, Oracle, SQL Server, IBM and DB2 and Sybase. So these are the popular database management systems are there. From that you are going to learn the Access. Now we are going to see some applications of DBMS. Some applications of DBMS. The first applications of DBMS is railway reservation system. Railway reservation systems. So database is required to keep record of ticket booking, trains departure and arrival status and status of seats available, etc. Now in the railway reservation system they use the database. Because of that they are going to keep the record of ticket book in a train, when the train is going to departure and when it is going to arrive, that status also you can see because of the database, and it also they shows the status of seat available in the trains. How it is possible? Because of the database, because database store each and every informations, and whenever we need we can retrieve that information through the database management systems. Now the next application, library management systems. So you know there are thousands of books in the library, so it is very difficult to keep a record of all the books in a copy or register. Now suppose you go in the library, then see what the librarian is doing, he is maintain the registers. When you are going to take one book, that time is asking you to write your name. Then when you are going to return the book, that date or issue date, and if you are not written, then one column is there that they are going to take a fine. So these are the information he keeps in the register, but now in the computer it is easy to keep the record, because now each and every person using the computer, and it is possible because of the database management system. So the DBMS is used to maintain all the information related to book, issue date, name of the book, author and availability of the book. And so easily you can find any person's informations, when that person is taken that book, when the return date was given, whether he has written the books or no. If the person names type, that information comes in front of you because of the database management system software. Next, banking. Now people make thousands of transactions through banks daily, and they can do this without going to the bank. So now banking has become so easy that by sitting at home, bank customer can send or get money through the banks, and all this possible just because of TBMS that manage all the bank's transactions. Now this day the people are not going in the bank physically because who like to stay there in the queue, and when the number will come, that time they can do, they can withdraw the money or they can deposit the money. But instead of going physically in the bank, you can sit at home or you can transfer money from one bank to the another bank. Now it is possible, or you can do many transactions sitting at home. Now this day you are doing online transactions also, online while doing online shopping. That time you are making the online payment. It is possible because of this database, because every bank having their own database management system. One more example I'm going to give you here. When you go out in any ATM center, automatic teller machine, ATM means automatic teller machine, but some people still they are calling all time money or any time money. That is wrong. So here ATM means automatic teller machines, and these machines gives you the money to you, and whenever you go you get the money from the ATM center. But when you remove the money from that particular ATM center, the entry pass in particular bank, but you are going in any ATM center. For example, your account is there in a Bank of India and you enter in the State Bank of India's ATM center, but entry will not pass in the State Bank of India, but it will pass in the same account where your same bank where your account is there, for example Bank of India. So it is possible because of the database management systems. Next, universities and colleges. So examinations are done online today, and universities and colleges maintain all these records through DBMS, and student registration details, result courses and the grades, all the information is stored in the database. You also now this day you are given one first unit test online. Your result is stored in the database. So the next year you are going to give your board exam also online, because IT subject exam is online. So the result is stored online, and whenever we need we can see that result because of the database management systems. Next, credit card transaction. For purchase of credit card and all the other transactions are made possible only by database management systems. A credit card holder knows the importance of his information that all are secure through the database management systems. As I told you, while doing the online shopping, most of the people use the credit card. Through they are making the payment, online payment. But these transactions are secure transactions because here the server is there, that server is secure server is there. So whenever you make the payment, that time you must see on the address bar that HTTPS means hypertext transfer protocol secure should come on the address bar. If this HTTPS is shown on the address bar, you can make easily payment, means that is a secure site. And the people are now online, they are using the credit card and doing the online payment, so they are making the credit card transactions. And it is possible because of the database management systems. A credit card holder knows the importance of his information, and that all are secure through database management system. And now social media site, there are many social media sites are there. Facebook is there, Instagram is there, Twitter is there. Okay, even you are using now this day WhatsApp also come in social media. Okay, but the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, so these all sites store all the data through the database management systems. We all are on social media website to share our views and connect with our friends. Daily millions of users sign up for these social media accounts like a Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest and Google Plus. But how is all the information of users stored and how are we able to connect to other people? Yes, this is all because of the database management system. Once you open the account in the Facebook, it asks you to store all your informations, and once it is stored, it remains there. Similarly, in Twitter, Pinterest, and the Google Plus, and your WhatsApp also. When you open your account on WhatsApp and you uninstall the WhatsApp from your mobile, and installing again, that time is asks you want to take a backup of your data. Why it is asking? Because the data is stored in the WhatsApp database, and that's why it's asking you want your data backup, and we say yes, and we get all the data restored. And it is possible because of database management system. So every social media sites having their own database, and because of that they store the data, and whenever we need, that time we get the data from their database. Now we'll see the advantages of DBMS. Advantages of DBMS. The first advantage of the DBMS is reducing data redundancy. Reducing data redundancy. The file-based data management system contain multiple files and that were stored in many different locations in a system or even across multiple systems. Because of this, there were sometimes multiple copy of the same file, which lead to data redundancy. And this is prevented in a database, as there is a single database and any changes in it is reflected immediately. Because of this, there is no chance of encountering duplicate data. Unnecessary data will be not stored. Duplicate file will be not stored because of the database management system. It's check each and everything. So when you store the new data in the particular column in the database, is not going to accept the duplicate data. For example, roll number 1, again you are going to enter roll number 1, is not going to accept because it's going to check the redundancy. Next advantage of DBMS means sharing of data. In a database, the user of the database can share the data among themselves. There are various levels of authorization to access the data, and consequently the data can only be shared based on the correct authorization protocols being followed. Many remote users can also access the database simultaneously and share the data between themselves. My dear students, here many examples are there in front of you. Now this day, the peoples work in the bank, they share the data from one bank to another. Their centralized bank is one place, but their branches are different places, and the data share from the central bank to their branches. So here is such a nice example is there in front of you. So many remote user can also access the database simultaneously and share the data between themselves. Data integrity. Next advantage of DBMS is data integrity. Data integrity means that the data is accurate and consistent in the database. Data integrity is very important as there are multiple databases in a DBMS. All of these databases contain data that is visible to multiple users, and so it is necessary to ensure that the data is correct and consistency in all the database and for all the user. Here if the wrong data passed to the user, then there will be the problem. So here in the database, no duplication will be taken. So if the person having the same name, then also it's not going to accept, because here one person one account number will be given, here roll number also is given, this registration number also be given to that particular person, so data will be not taken duplicate. duplicate data will be avoided. Next is data security. Data security is vital concept in a database. Only authorized users should be allowed to access the database, and their identity should be authenticated using a username and password. Unauthorized users should not be allowed to access the database under any circumstances, as it is violates the integrity constraints. So whenever you are going to use the data, only the authorized person will be allowed to access the database. Means while using the database, it will ask you to enter your username and the password. Once you enter your username and the password, then you will get access to your accounts. Now there also restriction is there. If you continuously 3 times wrong password you enter, then your account will be blocked for 24 hours. The next day it will work. So that the security. Now see, any bank app is there on your mobile, and you are going to see your balance in your through that bank app. So then also they are asking you to put a username and the password or the pin, and once you made mistake in the pin continuously 3 times, they are going to block your account temporary, not permanently, but they will give you access after 24 hours. Means continuously, means they are checking whether you are using or someone else is using your account, and you made mistake in while putting the pin, then they block the accounts. So that the security, because of the database, it is possible now. Next, privacy. The privacy rule in a database means only the authorized user can access a database according to its privacy. There are levels of database access, and a user can only view the data he is allowed to. For example, in social networking site, access constraints are different for different account a user may want to access. For example, you are going to use social networking site for that is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So they are given you the account, but the different accounts are there of the particular user, not the same account is given. So you can create your different account and you can work similarly while creating account on the Gmail and all. There also we can create a many account with a different name, not the same name. So here privacy will be maintained. Now backup and recovery. Because of database management system, it is possible to backup your data or recover your data. So database management system automatically take care of your backup and recovery, and the user don't need to backup data periodically because this is taken care of by the database management systems. Moreover, it also restore the database after a crash or system failure to its previous conditions. So that is a very important advantage of database management systems. Here we can get a backup of our data, or we can recover our data. If your computer suddenly stop working and that time you are using the software, so no need to worry, that software will store your data in the database, and once you start using the software again, it will ask you to take a backup or you can recover your data. The message will be displayed. So this is a very important advantage of database management system. And the last, development and maintenance time. Development and maintenance time. DBMS reduce the application development and maintenance time. So it support many important functions that are common to many applications accessing data stored in the DBMS, so which facilitate the quick development of applications. So my dear students, so these are the various advantages of DBMS and some applications of DBMS we have seen. In these lessons, once again we revise what are things we have learned today. So you have learned first introductions, then the definitions of database, then we have done data versus information, means difference between data and information. Then what is DBMS, database management systems, and their popular database management software available in the market, some applications of database management systems, and the advantage of database management system. The next lecture we will see the practical on this lesson. That time we are going to use MS Access, one of these popular database management software. So I hope you understood what is database management system.